Welcome to the first episode of MBK, My Brother's Keeper. My name is Mello. On this podcast, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about a lot of things regarding music, sports, and we're also going to talk about the biggest things in pop culture. I am joined by my brother Armani
So,
and my brother Josh.
What's up? What's up?
Welcome. So, as you guys know, this week is Super Bowl week. So football is on everybody's mind. And the main thing is that this 43-year-old man is back in the Super Bowl yet again. But I wanna talk a little bit about Tom Brady, and his counterpart, in the NFC, Aaron Rodgers. And I know some of us have some opinions. So why don't you start us off, Ramani? What you think?
Tom Brady is Tom Brady. My biggest question, and I don't think that this year on Tampa Bay has answered it, is if all those years that Tom Brady wasn't on the Patriots, would he be Tom Brady? I honestly believe that Aaron Rodgers might be the better quarterback. Tom Brady just was put in better situations.
I don't even know if it's a might be. I think he is the better physically gifted quarterback of the two.
Aaron Rodgers, he has more touchdowns. He has more average touchdowns. He averages a lot of he averages more wins too, actually. We're talking about regular season, which is actually kind of crazy when you really think about it.
Yeah, seeing as he hasn't had a receiver in I don't know how long. Like, if you really also look at it too, like Tom Brady's had Gronk, he had Aaron Hernandez, he had Randy Moss, he's had Wes Welker, he's had Julian Edelman, he's had all these people.
And the funniest thing about that, and what I have to say is, because you just named all those receivers, Aaron Rodgers has a better completion rate than Tom Brady through their whole career.
I didn't know that. What's his completion rating?
Right now, his completion rating is 64.6, while Tom Brady's is a 63.8.
Oh, so it's not too
it's still
too
better.
big of a difference.
But I mean, that's when you have receivers like what you just named for Tom Brady compared to what Aaron Rodgers had, and you have a better completion rating. That says a lot as a quarterback.
But Tom Brady's played more games because Tom Brady started his first year, second. No, he came in for Bledsoe. Yeah. So, but Arod had to wait a few years. He didn't start. He wasn't starting for a few years after.
I believe.
Yeah, 2-3 years or so because of Brett Favre. But I think that. Go ahead.
All right. I think so. My question is: are you discrediting Tom Brady's Super Bowl wins just because he had a better team?
Or yes.
You can't discredit it. You can't discredit it. But if you really think about it, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, a lot of people are going to say Tom Brady.
I'm definitely discrediting one of his Super Bowl wins. And that's going to be back in 2001. And that's going to be with the Tuck rule, when my Raiders should have went to the Super Bowl, but Tom Brady and his nice little refs decided that they wanted Brady in the Super Bowl and for him to win. So I'm not giving him that one. And then Deflategate, and there's a whole lot about Tom Brady that would make you say, you shouldn't give him his credit. Not to mention, I don't think he's had like a bottom or middle of the pack defense any year he's made it to the Super Bowl anyway. He's had a lot of help.
I still think the amount of he's been to 10 Super Bowls, he won 6. I still think talent wise, he's still a really great quarterback. Yeah, he has had controversy behind his name and he has great teams around him. But I still think at the end of the day, he could throw the football really great. I mean, he's good at his job. I think Aaron Rodgers, I would say, yeah, he's probably one of my favorite quarterbacks because he's basically the underdog in the situation. But I think Brady going to Tampa Bay is showing why he is really good. I think many people thought
the Bay team though. The Tampa Bay team is not trash.
It's not, but they were kind of put together this year. Before they got there, it was Mike Evans. That was in
No,
Tampa Bay.
Godwin was still there. All the receivers were
brought-
still there. The only people that are there that are new now, I think, are AB, Gronkowski, and Leonard Fournette and
Yeah.
Brady. Like, that's the only new people that are on the team. Oh, and the rookie that they drafted for their tackle, but he was going to be there no matter what. Jameis Winston was throwing 30 interceptions, but 30 some touchdowns.
30K? Yeah, that was
Like he was doing decent, and then they just said, we're just gonna throw caution to one Brady. I really don't think that he is the reason that team is doing well. I think that if you add anyone else that's a decent quarterback, they're taking that stacked Bucks team to the Super Bowl.
I don't know about.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about the Super Bowl though.
Tell me what quarterback with that team and those weapons isn't getting to the Super Bowl with that offensive line as well. Give me a quarterback. Give me a starting quarterback in the NFL right now that wouldn't do it. Even Jimmy Garoppolo would get it there.
I don't think Jimmy
Garoppolo.
Garoppolo.
Disrespect Jimmy G.
Jimmy G is trash.
Jimmy G is a average quarterback.
There is a reason why in the Super Bowl the coach went out of his way not to throw the ball. It's because his quarterback is garbage.
He is average. There's worse.
They win as many games with him being out,
without him.
with him being in the game. He is not a factor. Like, they don't care for him. I don't know what starting. Even Ryan Fitzpatrick could go on that team and at least get them to the playoffs on the Bucks.
That's the thing. These quarterback that you're naming, they could probably get to the playoffs.
Yeah,
but
they don't have the
Super
experience.
Bowl?
Okay, but once you start getting into the upper echelon of quarterbacks, Kirk Cousins could get them to the Super Bowl.
You think without Tom Brady, that Tampa Bay team is beating Green Bay?
I don't think without Tom Brady, they even beat the Saints in the playoffs.
Their defense is what's keeping them in it. Tom Brady, if you watch him play, he's floating a lot of balls. His arm is not where it used to be. He's making a lot of bad choices. You have any quarterback that can make those throws with that defense, you're getting there. Derek Carr could get them to the Super Bowl playing with that. And I don't think Derek. Yeah, at times, but not in games when it matters. He can be kind of whatever. But I don't think that team's success is predicated off of Tom Brady. It's more off of the fact that he came to a team that had a great defense already, and then also had a decent offense, and then he just put them over the hump, essentially.
I think it's because of his experience. There's not many quarterbacks in the league that's been to 10 Super Bowls. The argument that you're saying you could put any quarterback on that team and get to the Super Bowl, I don't know. Maybe to the playoffs, but they're not a Super Bowl caliber team without Brady.
So, do you believe that if Tom Brady would have stayed on the Patriots, he'd still be in the Super Bowl?
No.
That team is essentially the same as it was last year.
So the question is it Tom Brady or is it the Patriots?
I
think it's showing now it's Tom Brady.
I think it's a mixture of both of them, because you really got to look at the team. You got to look at the team. At some point in time, coaches and owners are like, you know what? This roster isn't going to do it. We need to just kind of be competitive, but we know we're not trying to win. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, just because you're a competitor, you're going to want to win. So I can't imagine Bill Belichick going out there just tanking. But I can say that they kind of did not go out of their way to get talent when they could have went and got talent.
Is Cam a bad quarterback?
Yeah, but how long did it take for them to get Cam Newton?
I mean,
they could have went and got a receiver in free agency. They could have tried to upgrade things. Most of their team, opted out because of the virus. I think with Brady, they win the AFC East. They still go to the playoffs. Without Brady, that's kind of where they are, because they're like, we don't really have anything we're playing for. You know what I mean? You don't have a quarterback that knows the system. They had to change things around to try to keep Cam Newton in. I think Cam Newton that's part of the tank. Getting Cam Newton is part of their way of tanking, because they're changing up their entire system.
It's an interesting way to look at it.
So you think Cam Newton is a part of a tank?
No, I don't think that Cam himself is a part of the tank. But if you look at the offenses that Cam had in Carolina, right? The type of receivers he needed, the tight end, all that stuff that made him great, right? And that he's excelled with. That is not what you have in New England. You have a bunch of possession receivers, slot receivers essentially, people that really can't get to get past their man, but and you don't have a tight end either. But you have Cam Newton. So Cam is trying to make something out of nothing. Essentially, you're trying to make it into this RPO filled, run heavy offense, and that's kind of not what they're used to doing. So they literally changed their entire thing for Cam Newton because like, you know what? We have a quarterback. Let's try to make it work. If it does work, cool. We don't expect to win. If it doesn't work, we're where we originally thought we were going to be with Brady leaving, and then we go from there.
So do you think Cam is the future in New England?
Cam is gone. I think Cam has already found or packed his bags, sold his house or apartment. He's just waiting for the next call. Cam needs to go to Chicago, in my opinion.
Bears.
They're looking at Matt Ryan, I think. Don't know why, but they're looking to pick Matt Ryan.
I mean, that's interesting. But the true point to make is who is a better quarterback?
I think that when you talk about quarterbacks, it's kind of hard of a choice to make. You have just for this conversation that we're having right now, Brady and Arod. You have Tom Brady, who's more technical, student of the game. He's been in a system that completely made him heightened all of his strengths and made it to where he was able to excel and grow. Whereas you have Aaron Rodgers, who is this guy who already had all the physical gifts. He was Patrick Mahomes before there was a Patrick Mahomes. He was doing it, but yet he's had bad coaches, roster turnover, a GM that decides that he doesn't need a second receiver at all. He just is fine with Devontae Adams. He's had some things that haven't worked out for him. They finally started to work out this year, and that's how we saw him, do what he does. But for quarterbacks, I feel like it's such a you could be a good quarterback, get placed in a terrible situation, you're going to be trash. It really just depends on where you're drafted or where you go, honestly.
I think with that being said, I think Aaron Rodgers is probably one of the biggest what if scenarios in the league. What if he had talent? What if he had better coaching? He probably would have been great by being at the end of his career now. I think if you're comparing off of success, then Tom Brady is just a better quarterback because
he could have been a Raider. We drafted some scrub who was out of the league 2 years later, right? One pick before Aaron Rodgers. I'm sick to my stomach.
Typical. But yeah, I think if you're comparing off success, Tom Brady is the better quarterback, and Aaron Rodgers, I think in his prime, if he had a better team, we'll be talking about Aaron Rodgers more as a GOAT possibly, but one championship is not going to get it done, I don't think.
It's the same thing as a LeBron and Carmelo.
Yeah, at a big three. What could have possibly happened?
What if? And as I say with basketball, the same thing I say with football, you watch players, you can watch players play. And people who aren't, just going and looking at stats, stat critics, if you actually watch these people play and you actually have a love for the game, you actually have a love for the game, then you can tell who's better. You can tell who's better, and you can tell who's more of a system player, who's more of just a really talented player. You can tell. Stats, I honestly feel like stats, they don't do justice to a lot of players because it's just as you guys said, depending on what situation you're in, your stats can either be good or your stats can't be good.
Yeah. So since we're talking about quarterbacks, I do have a question for you guys. Do you feel that a quarterback is more important to a team than the rest of the team, or that the other players on the team are more important than the quarterback? Everybody kind of puts it we got this quarterback, he's going to make our team amazing, or he's going to take us to the Super Bowl. Essentially kind of like Deshaun Watson. Is Deshaun Watson more important to the Texans, or is building the rest of the team up more important? essentially.
I feel that, to me, honestly, I feel your most valuable, the most valuable people on a football team, I honestly feel like is your line. And you're talking to somebody. I played football. I played quarterback, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I wouldn't say I was that good at quarterback, but I had a line that only allowed me to go down on the ground twice within a whole season,
That's
and
not bad.
it's underrated because not only does the line protect the quarterback, they block for everybody out there. And I feel like if your line is trash, your quarterback is trash. Honestly, if your line is trash, your quarterback is
Yeah.
not going to have a good year.
Unless your quarterback is just out of this world amazing, like
Unless you got like a
Patrick Mahomes, like
Patrick Mahomes, or even the Ravens quarterback,
Lamar.
Lamar Jackson,
Lamar. Yeah.
somebody that can run just as fast as a receiver and running back and go ahead and side on the ball out. But other than that, if you put a Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers with no line, they're gonna have a bad year.
I don't know. I feel like it depends on the quarterback. Like Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson. Their O lines have not always been amazing. Maybe Brady's because he's always had a stacked team, like no matter
Brady's
what he
always
does.
got a
But Deshaun Watson, he's had terrible offensive lines like every year he's been in the league. Like he's not had a good O line.
What has Deshaun Watson truly done though?
He went to the play. He's gone to the playoffs a few times.
And
He
what?
didn't he just lose to the Chiefs like 2 years ago when
Yeah.
it was a nail biter game they were winning.
Well, what happened though?
Okay, that's fine. That's because they had a stupid coach who that's the same guy. This is the same guy that traded DeAndre Hopkins. Okay, let's not act like this guy was just the smartest of people. He's made some dumb decisions.
All I'm trying to say is, bro, is if you have a good line, you have a good offense. I will say that right now. If you give, let's not forget. Now we can say anything we want, but these quarterbacks in the league, these are professional quarterbacks. Jimmy Garoppolo, as much as you talk about him, he's a professional quarterback.
He's professionally trash.
He led a team to a Super Bowl.
He's a professional quarterback.
Don't say that.
Yes,
the
he did.
defense led the team.
Hey, we had to
He's
put
not
up points.
good.
We had to put up points somehow.
Oh Lord, you guys could have had
quarterback.
Mullins or what's that other guy's name? Anybody. You could have picked up somebody off the street and they probably would have did better.
Stop. No way. No.
Most years you do pick up people from the street and they do better than Jimmy Garoppolo.
Let's see. One of our teams goes to the Super Bowl. Another one of our teams don't make the playoffs.
I'm sorry, the Raiders are one of the most winningest teams in NFL history.
So are the 49ers.
Yeah, okay. Well, both of us have kind of been trash for like the last 20 years.
No. But
the one piece of success the Niners had, they kicked away because he kneeled on the ground for racial equality. So let's not really talk about your poverty franchise.
Nick Bosa, right? Yes, sir.
Oh, MAGA warrior. Yep.
Hey.
But I feel like the quarterbacks, I feel like the need for them is inflated. But I also feel like a lot of people, they just get one who has one good year and they're like, we got to jump on it. He has to be our quarterback. And they don't really like explore their options. Just like Carson Wentz had one decent year. Trash. Absolute garbage. What's his name? Jared Goff. Big trash.
Who?
Hot garbage. Exactly.
No, I don't think he's trash.
Exactly.
He led his team to the playoffs multiple times.
Okay.
So in
Mitchell Trubisky.
He's
one decent season. And I wouldn't even say it was a good season. He was like slightly below average, but good enough to bring that defense to the playoffs. Big trash. More often than not, quarterbacks are garbage than they are good. Unless you get one that gets into the right system, like Baker, because he was looking pretty trash for the first couple of years. Then he gets into this new system with Stefanski or whatever that coach is, and all of a sudden, Baker Mayfield's taking the Browns to the playoffs and having a 10-4 or what was it, 11-5 record or whatever. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, did turn that. So you're saying is the the system more important than a quarterback?
No, I don't think the system's more important than the quarterback.
Or is like is a system? Is it? I don't know how to
I
phrase
think
it.
I think that the quarterback is the most important player on the team. But on the other end, I think that even though the quarterback is the most important, I think that they have too much money and too much value put on them. Because just as big as a quarterback is in terms of a team, I've seen teams that have had bad quarterbacks, but that put money into, like you said, their offensive line, their defensive line, and like the Eagles, great defense, great offensive line, great everything. They won a Super Bowl with Nick Foles. Like you got it. Like it really depends. But I don't think that quarterbacks are this end all. Just everything. They're not alpha and omega, if you know what I mean.
I get it. So with that being Super Bowl week, who do you guys have in the Super Bowl?
As much as it pains me, because like if you haven't gotten it yet, I am a Raiders fan.
Yeah.
And having to see the Chiefs, who by the way, we were the only team to beat them so
Congrats.
far. So yeah, just pat myself. Thank you. So we would have beaten them a second time, but rookie mistakes essentially. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Seeing them and then seeing the guy who made my team trash for 15 years against each other, it really hurts my heart to have to pick one of them to win.
Tampa.
I'm going with Chiefs.
I'm going Tampa.
I'm going with the Chiefs.
It's hard to bet against Brady, but
it's a losing bet.
Yeah.
It's a losing bet. It's like he can hear that. Like he can
it just feels a little.
He's gonna save that for February 7th, and he's gonna have one of the best comebacks ever. I'm not gonna say comebacks ever. The Chiefs will be winning like 31-3, and next thing you know, in 2 quarters, they end up losing 38-31 or something like that.
Would you like to bet that would you like to bet on that? I will bet. However, I'll bet a ridiculous and ignorant amount of money that does not happen. If the Chiefs go up 30-some points, they're going to be scoring 70 by the end of the game. They're not going to stay in the 30s. Like, no defense is good enough to stop them.
Game, and I thought the game was over. So to the point that I went outside and started playing football.
Oh, I left. We had a whole suite. We were watching it.
When I come inside to get something to drink, and Tom Brady is literally going on this tandem, and they came back.
Okay.
All
one
the
quarterback is Matt Ryan, and the other one is Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, but
they were up 28-3, bro. Come on, bro. I could have went out there and at least held that lead.
Like, come on.
Just run the ball.
Just run, literally just run clock off.
Just run the ball. When you have to throw it, just throw it. But don't.
They tried to waste clock. It's just they couldn't stop Tom Brady on the offensive end.
Okay, but you have to understand they had the lead in the second quarter.
They went into the half.
Why are you running the clock then? You got to come out and be aggressive. Put your foot on the neck.
They had a double-digit lead.
It's a Super Bowl. Put your foot on their neck. Win the first. That would have been the first Super Bowl in Atlanta's history. Win the Super Bowl. Get to the fourth with you having like up 4 or 5 touchdowns. Then you start being whatever about it. Don't take your feet off the brakes in the third quarter.
The thing is, you're going against Tom Brady. It's Tom Brady. Okay. Now, honestly, I feel like Tom Brady is just not somebody you bet against. It's just not somebody you bet against.
I bet against him.
It's like
I bet against him on Sunday. How much you want to bet? Whatever you want. Whatever you can afford, little guy, we can bet it right now. I got the Chiefs beating the Bucks.
Wow.
The Chiefs will beat Tom Brady.
Have you watched that man? Have you watched Patrick Mahomes?
But we've been watching Tom Brady ever since we were born.
Oh, but it's time for him to step up. It's time for him to step over. It's Patrick Mahomes.
You think Tom Brady's gonna let his prove himself season go to waste? This is his prove himself season to everybody in the league that the Patriots is not the team. It's Tom Brady.
what you should be asking is the NFL going to let it go to waste? And I will tell you that their poster boy, their new mascot, is Patrick Mahomes.
But
He is the guy.
like it's Tom Brady at the end of the day, right?
Yo,
No
Tom
matter
Brady-
what you
Old
have.
versus
Here's the thing.
it's
Here's the
new
thing.
versus
You can
old,
give-
and I'm taking the new.
But you can give Tom Brady this last one and give Patrick Mahomes the next 5.
No, give Patrick Mahomes this one and the next 5. I don't see anybody beating him anytime soon.
Brady.
Who's stopping that team?
Buffalo is on the rise. Let Baltimore get it
Get outta
together.
here.
Once,
outta here.
hey, if San
outta
Francisco
here.
gets a quarterback, we are going to win Super
All right,
Bowl.
you stop now. You brought the Niners into it. Yo, we don't
You
hear
act like
that.
we're not a good team. We just
Y'all-
got injuries, a bunch of
Y'all
injuries.
had the opportunity to beat the Chiefs and couldn't. So you know better than
Okay,
anybody
One year.
how
Year.
bad it is.
Literally,
Hey,
next
watch
year
out for the
later.
Steelers, though.
Watch out for what?
Did he really say that? Did he really just say that?
What are we
Did I hear
watching
that
out
right?
for? Juju?
Juju?
Are we watching out for a TikTok dance? Is that what
Oh,
we're watching
God.
out for? I don't want to hear it, bro. The Chiefs are the best team in the league, and it is like David and Goliath them going up against the Bucks on Sunday. If the Bucks come out and make it a competitive game by the third quarter, and it's still
You act
going
like the
well,
Ravens though aren't a good team, though.
who?
The Ravens.
The Ravens don't have a receiver, and their quarterback
Seattle.
can't really
Even
throw the
Seattle.
ball.
Seattle's
Did
a
you
good
just say
team.
Lamar Jackson cannot throw the ball?
I mean, he's
He
not.
can't.
He's
Is
not
that
known for
truly what
throwing,
you-
bro.
he's not
He's
efficient, so.
he's gonna have to take some steps up over the next few years, and they're gonna have to get him an actual number one receiver. He doesn't have one of those either.
So is it that he can't throw the ball, or is it that he's a receiver?
They are a run first team, but when you get in the playoffs, and that's all you've done for 16 games is run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. Teams are gonna be like, okay, you're not running the ball, throw it, and that's when he has issues because then when he has to throw the ball, he can't throw the ball.
Oh,
I just
it's
feel
kind of
like-
interesting to think. Josh, who do you have on Sunday?
I hate to bet against Brady, but like I really want to see the Chiefs win. But I think Tampa Bay is probably gonna take an L.
Tampa Bay's game.
I think so.
It's Tampa Bay's game.
All right, so how much you want to bet too then, Josh? I didn't forget
Hey,
about what you
man.
said, Armani. How much you betting? How much
Hey,
y'all
man.
want to? How much are y'all willing to lose for this love for Tom Brady that you have?
I'm not. You know, I ain't Tom
I
Brady.
bet
no.
against Tom Brady against the Falcons, and I vow to never do it again.
So you're betting with Brady right now, though. So
Yeah,
this is good. Your vow is in place. You're good.
I mean,
How about this? We could bet that when COVID is over, that you buy lunch.
sounds good.
Good. You want to get in on this, Josh? Am I gonna get 2 lunches?
I'll take that offer.
All right, fine. So I'm gonna pick, or we don't have no price limit, right? I go wherever I want.
All right.
Well, no. Let's iron that out now, okay? Because I could definitely take us to a steakhouse or something.
Yeah,
Just let me
that's
know.
what we're not gonna do that one.
Oh, okay.
If it's a blowout,
What?
which it won't be,
It will be.
it won't be.
It will be. It's gonna be so disappointing. It's gonna be like when the Broncos played the Panthers. It's gonna be ridiculous.
Wow. And you know, my guy will get a Super Bowl, Antonio Brown.
I really hope he doesn't get one. I hope he loses. I hope he has an opportunity if it is a close game. I hope he has an opportunity to catch a game-winning pass and he drops
Salty that he
and they
didn't
cut
want
him.
the team.
Yes, I am salty. You're right. I'm salty because he was supposed to be our receiver. He would have been on our team this year. He would have been good. And this guy decided that, oh my God, I'm free. And then ended up sitting himself at home for a couple years until he could play with Tom Brady. And I hope it does not work. I hope it doesn't work. I don't have no ill will. He's
Sound like-
probably a
that
great
sound like
person,
some
but as a
big
football
emotion.
player,
God.
I don't want him to win. If he's not doing it in the Raiders jersey, I want him to keep losing. It's bad enough he got this far. He needs to keep losing.
Sound like a hater, right?
You
now.
right.
Wow.
You are correct.
Can't argue with that, then.
Hey, at least he knows he's a hater.
At least
Yep.
you know.
I mean, imagine if you had this guy who came out, was late to his press conference, was like, I'm going to do this and that. We're going to do whatever. Then, on his own time, gets his feet frozen off.
Hey,
And then once he finally gets back from that, he's like, you know what? I don't want to be here, and forces
had
a
James
release.
Harden on my
You're
team.
getting a little too sensitive.
I
with
know
this.
your pain. I had James Harden on my team.
Actually, bro.
You don't know my pain.
We don't, because we don't
You
know your
don't.
pain to have that happen and be a Sacramento Kings fan. You're right.
Exactly.
Mm.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
painful. It's painful. No happiness. No happiness allowed.
How you watch sports?
This is the second year my Raiders have started 6-3 and ended with either 8-8 or a losing record. Like, this is pain. Like, there's nothing.
Pay attention to college and just pick a good team every single year. That
So
way
they
you
can
just-
fail me too. I feel like even if I were to switch, say if I were to say, you know what, I'm gonna be a Seahawks fan next year, which I wouldn't do because I'm not built like that. But I said that I feel like the Seahawks would have the worst season they've had in the last few years. I feel like something miraculous would happen. Like Russ would get hurt, or Pete Carroll would no longer be able to coach, and they'd have to have some new person step up, and he just leads them into offensive destruction. That would have to happen, like some monumental event, because I'm a fan now. Just because there's nothing but sadness that follows me.
Golly.
Wasn't there?
That's pain, bro.
What year was that?
That's
Where
pain.
I forgot which year was it. What year was it where Derek Carr was having a really good season and ended up? I think he broke his leg.
2016. I
He
was
ended up
watching
breaking
that
his leg,
game.
right?
I was sitting
Yeah,
downstairs.
we were both watching that game. And
No,
then
you weren't. You weren't there. You weren't there. I was sitting there with my uncle.
I did.
With
My
our uncle.
fault. You streamed or something like that.
No, I was sitting there with my uncle. We were downstairs. We were chilling. We were playing the Colts. We were talking. He's a Chiefs fan, so he already has made a few bad life choices. And I was like, you know what? We're up 21 points. We're going to the playoffs. I said we're going to win the Super Bowl. That's how crazy I was talking. And then I'm like, we're 21 points. Why are we not running the ball? Run the ball. And they decide, let's throw the ball on 2nd and 20. Like, what? What does that even mean? And then, of course, my quarterback gets hurt. And since then, we haven't been good. We've been trash. Just how it happens. It's
Swear. Wow.
I mean, that's crazy. What's even more crazy is betting against Tom Brady.
nope.
And when you
And after they win, after the Chiefs win on Sunday, I'll be able to say two things. One, that you guys are terrible because you bet against the Chiefs. And two, that the only team that's beaten the Chiefs this year is the Raiders. I will sleep happily saying that.
If the Raiders can beat the Chiefs, Tom Brady can't.
Yes.
We're talking about Super Bowl Tom Brady.
Two different types of teams. We play the Chiefs 2 times a year. We kind of know what they're going to do.
You're talking about Super Bowl Tom Brady.
Tom Brady is going to lose to the Chiefs.
The person in the world right now that is more feared in the finals would be LeBron James. When it comes,
he's lost like 4 or 5 of them, or 6 of them actually, right? He's lost 6. So how are you going to tell me that he should be more feared? He's a loser too. You're trying to tell me they're going to lose. He's going to lose. Brady is going to lose.
You talking out your neck, bro. You ridiculous right now.
I'm not. I'll die on that hill too. When it comes to, if we really want to talk about it, you can't put LeBron and Tom Brady in the same boat. They don't lose the same. They build different.
Mahomes has been to 1 Super Bowl. Granted, he's 1 for 1. Brady has been doing this since I've been alive.
He's 43 years old.
He's not slowing
down.
Still
play football. He can still play football. He's 40.
He's in the Super Bowl. What are you talking about?
You act like this man.
Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, Mecole Hardman, Tyrann Mathieu. This is a good team.
They're a very good team, but they have not played against Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
Okay. When they lose on Sunday, when they lose, I'm just gonna have it listed out what I want for my lunch from both of you. I'm just gonna send you a text. I'm not gonna say, "Oh, it's a good game." I'm just gonna send you a quick text, just let you know what to order. So when I see you next time, just have it ready so I can get it.
When Tom Brady wins, it's a bet. The next podcast that we do, you have to get on the podcast wearing "I believed in the Chiefs, but I'm a Raiders fan" shirt.
Wow.
You said I have to say what?
On the podcast
Jeez.
wearing a I believed in the Chiefs, but I'm a Raiders fan shirt.
They don't even make that. Can't they just like
You
wear
can
a
make
Chiefs shirt or something?
You can make
That's
it.
just
You
as
can draw it
painful.
on there. You can draw it on there. It's gonna be painful writing that and everything. If they lose,
I
if
don't
they
care.
lose,
I'm not losing. The Chiefs aren't
if they
losing.
lose, the next
They're not.
podcast, the next couple of podcasts that we have, I
Couple. Hold
have
on now. Pump your brakes, kid.
Sacramento Kings jersey on
Wow.
for every podcast. I will put a Sacramento Kings jersey on for the next
Marvin Bagley.
2 podcasts.
Marvin Bagley jersey.
I will put a Sacramento Kings podcast jersey on, and I will not
Wow.
say a single word about the Kings.
Deal.
2 podcasts.
Man,
Deal. I'll take that bet. I don't even care. When my Chiefs win, it's gonna be that much sweeter to see you wearing a Sacramento Kings jersey. To see you understand that finally you're wearing the jersey of the best team in
Where?
the Northern California
The
area.
best team out of the trash can?
You won't be speaking that when you're wearing the jersey.
No, I'll be.
I'll have all the video evidence I ever need.
I
Anytime you
might just
say
cry.
anything about the Warriors,
I might
it'll
just cry.
definitely just revert back to that picture of you wearing the
I
jersey.
might just cry. Honestly, I might just cry. I mean,
Tears of joy because you've seen the light.
no, I mean, I play basketball, and I feel like if I put that jersey on, I'm automatically just gonna lose all my skill. So it's really just about
Just
that.
like you just like you touch the basketball in Space Jam, it all goes away.
It's all gonna go away. Like it's just gonna all magically go away. I mean, I might become fast because of De'Aaron Fox, but you talk about winning. I don't think I'll win a game ever again in life. Not even a pickup game.
Wow.
That's
All
just-
right. Disrespect. I'm not gonna take that.
that is-
Are you good with lunch, or you want to go out of your mind like Armani does?
I'm good. You can keep it at lunch. I ain't. Yeah.
That's a smart man. He knows he's gonna lose. He's just gonna
No,
keep it solid, keep it
keep
real
it
smooth.
simple. All right, whatever.
Okay.
Whatever.
All right. Well, I'm so glad to be able to see that you are gonna lose your dignity as well as your pride when you wear that jersey.
I won't lose my pride. I may lose my basketball skill, but I won't lose my pride.
Any last thoughts, Josh?
Sacramento sucks.
Alrighty then.
Hashtag Sacramento sucks. Very trash.
Any last thoughts, Armani?
Sacramento is trash.
Well, I just want to let you know that once we beat the Rockets and we beat the Warriors, when that happens, you're not gonna hear anything from. You're gonna hear so much. I'm never going to be quiet. Like your teams.
What do you mean beat? Because you could like win a regular season game, but can you make the playoffs?
Can you
Spell playoffs.
Own the 2010s. What are you talking about?
own the 2010s? Get
Yes.
out of here, bro. Get out of
Yes.
here, bro. 2010s also with the Miami Heat era. Don't talk to me about own the
They
2010s.
had 2 years. Congratulations.
All right. Whatever you say, buddy. Alrighty then. Well, let's just end it that way. Thank you for joining and tuning in to the first episode of MBK. We look forward to spending some more episodes with you. And also we really look forward to Armani wearing that Kings jersey. So be sure to tune in to that. I can't wait to have him decked out. I might send him like a hat or something just to go along with it, just so he can fully be Sacramento Kinged out. But join us for the next time. Hopefully you can follow us as well. We have a YouTube page so you can subscribe to it. But other than that, thank you guys, and we'll see you next time.